What's up everybody, my name is Cap, the Everyday Gamer, and welcome to Minecraft 1.8. This is the long-awaited adventure update that we've all been looking forward to for many months. In this video I'm going to show you and tell you about many of the updates added and kind of just describe some of the things that have been put into the game and where it's going with. Hope you find the video entertaining, and we'll first start off by checking out just the main menu. One of the first things you're going to notice about the 1.8 update is that the actual launcher has changed a bit. You can see he's updated the logo, and you can kind of see in the background a camera panning view of the terrain just slowly spinning. But that's just, something minor. One of the major updates that's been here is something we've been looking forward to for a while, is it allows you to save used public servers that you use a lot. So you can go in and add a new server, keep the address that you want to in there, and that way you don't have to try to remember the IP address every time. And then you can just click on it, join server, and jump right back in. That's going to be lovely for a lot of people that play multiplayer. So that is something that they've wanted for a long time, so it's really good to see that's in there. Something else that they've added here under the options section is you have this FOV. Now this stands for field of view, and you'll see when I get in game what it actually does when you jack it up Quake Pro or back down to normal. And then one of the other things they changed is now you can actually change the brightness of the game. This is going to help out a lot for people like me that do recording, and sometimes it's in a dark, hard to see cave or whatever, so you'll be able to jack this up all the way up to super bright, and hopefully it'll make it easier to see when you're wandering around in the dark. Now when it comes to actually just generating a new world, you'll have the standard launcher like you usually do, but when you go under create world now, you can name your world, and you can change it to creative, where you have unlimited resources, fly around, destroy blocks instantly. This is kind of the way it's always been on the website, where you can just kind of toy around with it. Survival, which is what we actually have been waiting for, so you can switch back and forth between the two modes while you're choosing your new game now. And then a few other ones here under the options. Here's where you can generate your seed, and then with this one you can change whether you want it to actually generate structures or not. One of the biggest updates features done in this new one is that you'll randomly find villages strewn about the world. That's something that is new with here, and it's going to be going a lot further forward with the Minecraft series, is that you'll start running into other inhabitants of the Minecraft world. So this will allow you to have those things actually appear. So you can turn them off and it'll generate just a regular normal world for you, and turn it back on and you'll get villages, you'll get constructed dungeons, you get mines. So that's going to be kind of cool. That's changing just how the world itself is going to look. Okay, when you actually get in game, this is where you'll start noticing a lot of the subtle changes that were changed to the game. You can see now that blocks have different lighting than normal blocks do. I mean, from inside and outside, the lighting has been updated in this system here. So it allows the, actual kind of a mood set to the lighting. And you'll see what I mean. See outside out here, there's no shadows or anything, so all the blocks look normal. You head inside, and you can see all the light on the blocks and stuff kind of has a little bit of a brown tint to it, kind of like you're actually indoors. And, a few of the textures on some blocks have been changed itself. But I wanted to show you what this FOV slider does here. So under options, keep it on normal. You see as you slide it out this way, Quake Pro style, you can see, look how it kind of distorts everything as you're changing it. This really makes it look like an old school shooter game here. I mean, it's really cool. Everything's kind of elongated here, kind of like a walleye mirror, I guess, or fisheye. So that's kind of cool. Now I get you running through a dungeon at high speed, and that's kind of cool. But for now, I'm going to turn it back to normal so I can show you the difference. And then under here you can go from, change the brightness setting all the way up so you can see the difference there too. See, now everything is super lit. It's like zero darkness no matter where you look, and just normal torches can completely light up a room. This is going to make it great for doing recordings, as I mentioned before, because, well, now you don't have to worry about trying to see in tiny little, caves and whatnot. That's going to be kind of cool. Pigs now have snouts. That's very important, as you can see. That's something we've been requesting for the longest time. I'm glad that Mojang finally, got their act together and put snouts on the pigs, because it just didn't look right before then. No, I'm just kidding. Something else you'll notice, if you look right above your item bar down there, now you have this little food meter that looks like little pieces of meat. Well, the way the new system works now here is that as long as you have full food, like you can see right now, then you will regenerate health automatically. Let's see if I can take a little bit of fall damage here, or kind of show you what I'm talking about. But as long as you have full health and full food in your food bar, you'll continue to just regenerate health. See? But once you start actually using some of that food, and once you actually start losing it and you take damage from it, then what you're going to have to do is you're actually going to have to eat. I mean, and eating actually requires a little bit of time now. When you eat it, it's not just to instant use it. I see I'm full right now, so I can't use it, but if I had taken some damage or whatever, then you'd be able to see me having to actually eat this to keep your food bar high. Something else that's been added to the game that's really cool is you can now sprint, and I'll show you what I mean. You got your normal movement speed like when you're running around like this, but if you double tap, he goes into an actual sprint, and when you're sprinting, you can jump much further distances. Now you can't sprint indefinitely, it's not Marathon Pro or anything, but you can definitely clear a lot further gaps with it. I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe you can clear up to 3 full-size blocks here, like 1, 2, and then you'll land on the 4th one here from where you actually jump. So that's going to be kind of cool when you're heading out to the wilderness, just be able to bust into a full sprint and call it good, and get from A to B a lot sooner. Now there's a lot of things going into this game here. There's a lot of new things, like with the bow. Now it's no longer just spamming the button to, to fire it. See, you can do it, but it doesn't really shoot much. So the way bow now works is you actually have to charge it. See, as you hold down the trigger, you'll see it kind of goes into a extended view or whatever, and poof. And that's how bow and arrows actually work now. Now if you'll notice right above my inventory bar, now you'll see that little green bar has gone up a little bit. This is the experience bar. From killing things, you actually get experience for them now. I'll show you. You get these little experience orbs like that. Right at the moment, leveling up doesn't actually do anything, but they are going to add something in the near future, probably with 1.9, to where leveling up, gives you certain abilities. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I mean, right now you can see I'm almost to level 2, I guess is what you would call it, but I don't actually have anything to get from level 2. But it's definitely a cool feature. It's going to add to that nice little RPG aspect of the game, being able to level up. And get my little orb again. So that's how bow and arrows actually work. Now, something else that's been added to the game here, and I'm going to have to be able to find mobs to show you, is that you can actually do critical damage now by hitting them in the head. So let's see if we can find a mob to actually check that out. But you have a chance now. Critical hits deal 50% more damage than just a standard hit when you actually hit them with a critical. Now, if you do a running jump attack while in the air and you actually hit them, it'll always give you a critical. Let's see if we can find a mob to actually check this out. And then I'll go into a list of some of the other things that were added to the game. Let's see, there's usually always something spawning up in here. See, without the brightness meter all the way up now, you really wouldn't be able to see much. See, I'd be looking in here and it'd be total darkness, but now I can actually see what I'm doing. Hello, spider. So as you can see, I've taken quite a bit of damage and stuff from that there, but since my food is full or whatever, I'll slowly be able to gain health back. So that's kind of cool. I don't know exactly for sure how hunger is going to work as far as regenerating your health. I don't know yet because I haven't got too much into it, but I know that as your food dwindles down, you'll have to be able to eat. And as long as you're full, you'll be able to keep regenerating health. So if we can find another one here so I can try out the critical. But something else that's been added is a few different enemy types now. You can find poisonous spiders. Okay. Now going by what I was just saying here, you can see now that right above my experience bar, you can see that I actually have lost one of my little foods. So now I have my hunger meter is down 1 notch. But basically what that means is that I won't be able to regenerate health automatically if I take damage. I'll have to actually replenish it here. And it'll slowly go down. You can see it just dwindles down a little fraction at a time. And you actually have to hold down the button. See, I ate the pork chop, and voila. Now my food bar is completely full again, and we are good to go for some more adventure time. But as I was saying, there's a few different new enemies that's been added. There are now poisonous spiders, so if you're in some of these new randomly created dungeons or caves or whatever, you may run into a spider that looks and acts similar to the other ones, but it's kind of a little turd in the fact that if it bothers you and bites you or whatever, it could take quite a bit of damage from it. And it'll keep taking damage. Now, I'm not quite sure yet if there's anything you can do to like anti-venom or if it just wears off yet. There's been nothing posted really on exactly how the poisoning works. I'm hoping it doesn't just keep pinging at you until you die, because that would definitely make evading in a tunnel system a little bit harder when you're trying not to die. The other new enemy type that's been added are called Endermen, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard of these. Now, when I think of Endermen, I think of some of the enemies from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And there was these creepy guys that just walked around, and if you looked at them, you made eye contact with them, they just got all kinds of offended, and their eyes would lock onto you, and they would just go crazy and jump all over you. And it made it very difficult to, evade them basically when they were just losing their stuff because you looked at them. So, see if we can find some of them, and we'll see what they look like. Okay, finding Endermen is going to be a little bit of a challenge. They're rather rare, but I wanted to tell you about them. They, as it stands right now, they are 3 blocks tall, so they're 3 meters tall, meaning they're taller than you. They're black, they have these long, lanky arms and lanky legs, and these bright purple eyes. Now, as I was mentioning before, they get aggressive if you stare at them. And what I mean by stare at them is not just glance their general direction, but if you happen to lock your crosshair on them. I mean, if you actually move your crosshair over the top of them, then that's when they get offended and they want to come, tell you about it. Man. Yeah. Get some experience. So anyway, but one thing you can do is if you're wearing a pumpkin on your head. Hold on, I got a creeper I'm dealing with here. Boom! That is something right there that's going to make it a bit of a challenge, is you can no longer spam your bow, so if a creeper's running up on you, you got to kind of plan your attacks. I foresee using a sword a lot more. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep getting distracted here, just got a couple things I'm dealing with. But with Endermen now, all you have to do is put a pumpkin on your head, and they won't attack you by looking at them. Now, they're usually pretty docile, and they'll leave you alone for the most part. Yeah, critical. I'm gonna go inside so I can tell you about them without dying here. Oh, look at you. Oh, that's not cool. You're shooting me from inside. Get him, wolf. Get him. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, that being inside now is not a guarantee that you're going to be safe from skeletons, because apparently they like to just show up anywhere. So there's been quite a few things. Good job, doggy. Good job. Y'all keep me safe while I'm talking. Okay, so Endermen now, they're generally peaceful, but if you look at them by running your crosshairs over them, they'll freeze, stare at, and then they become hostile. They stay frozen as long as you continue to look at them, and when you look away, that's when they'll run toward you, and they'll teleport close enough to you to actually kind of mess with you if you run away from them or whatever. They're just kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. They're easy to kill. They're damaged by water, sunlight, fire, lava. They're damaged by pretty much everything, so they're not going to deal with you too much, but they're just very hostile as far as running towards you. Okay, so in order to keep the video at a normal length or whatever, I'm just going to kind of tell you about some of the other changes here without going into a lot of walking around and possibly dying, especially since it's nighttime. Oh, that's nice. Good job. Good job. Okay. So now there are ravines randomly generated. These are pretty much just like big tunnels, big chasms, I guess you call it, or valleys sort of thing. So these are randomly generated. The biome code generation that you use to kind of generate which biome you're living in, such as desert, plains, winter, all that stuff now, it's been tweaked a lot more so that if you spawn in the desert, you're actually kind of in the desert. There's not trees around, there's no water there, and you got a long ways to go to get back to land. So it's not just these tiny little bitty sections of land where you step left and oh my god, now it's not snowing anymore. So that's what we have to look forward to now, is that you actually have regions to have to deal with here. They're randomly generated houses, as I said, so as you're walking through the land, you may run into some, villages that look like they've been populated before, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything right now because there aren't any NPCs. And what I mean by that is there aren't any non-playable characters or AI running around. We were hoping in 1.8 that they would be here, but as of right now, they are not. And so I'm hoping that in the next update, we'll see these characters show up, and they'll be able to give you some sort of quests or, something along those lines. That'll be kind of cool. See, there's an Enderman right out there. Let's go have a close look at him. Oh, man, there's a lot of things out there. Let's see if I can, oh, he's gonna come over here. Oh, that's creepy. Uh-oh. Wow, look at that. That is just some alien kind of crap here. I better pull out my sword before he figures out how to get inside. Okay, let's go downstairs and look at him. Endermen are some creepy characters. Standing there next to an actual creeper. Whoa, look at that. Got all these purple particles going around him. Man, that's some... Yeah, that's going to make me not want to go outside. Not gonna do it. No, I'll go back upstairs and look at you. This updates video is turning into more of just of a comical kind of thing while I'm trying not to die looking at these things. But it's okay. I'm just providing some information for you. Bone meal used on small mushrooms now, if you actually have some and there's room for it to grow, it'll automatically grow a big mushroom. It'll just poof and you have a big mushroom, so that's cool, but it has to have room to actually move first. See, there's an Enderman looking at me through the water. Is that not some creepy alien stuff? Oh, I think yep, the water just killed him. Okay, so that's what you need to do, just build a big waterfall and the Enderman will leave you alone. Okay, the light rendering system's been rewritten to add multi-texturing, so instead of just direct colors, light shining down, you get shadows and shades and whatnot, like I was showing you with the being indoors kind of thing. If a player hits a mob while falling, it's going to always be a critical type hit. The game also keeps track of what types of damage you do now. You can see you got all the stuff you have here: damage taken, number of deaths, mob kills, players. You got all this stuff here, so you can keep track of how many times you've actually killed things with under your stats now. So that's cool, so the game tracks all that information now. Damage to a certain type of armor has changed a little bit, like being on fire versus in fire. It doesn't actually damage the same type of armor. It doesn't work the same way it did. They changed the armor system up so that if you're standing around fire or whatever, your armor won't take as much damage as it will versus standing in fire, and it's just changed up the damage model, so you put all that effort into building it, it won't go away as quickly. Explosions look a lot cooler, so if you're a TNT fanatic, then you'll be a big fan of that. Sprinting, as I said, food's now stackable. Skeletons can hold their bows better. If you remember seeing how they looked prior to this update or whatever, they just look kind of goofy the way they held onto their bow and arrows. Yeah, I'm not going out there. It just didn't look right at all. So now they actually look like they're holding their bows. Something now you can do is you can farm and find melons. You can actually grow them and harvest them. And pumpkins are as well. So you can find pumpkin seeds and melon seeds, and you'll be able to grow them. That's going to be kind of cool too. Animals get hurt. When you hurt them, I should say, they actually flee now, meaning they take off running. So they're not just going to stand there and take direct damage from you, over and over again and look at you funny while you're beating on them. So they actually do something different now. If you have fog set on and you actually look towards the sunset or the sunrise or whatever, it changes the fog color, kind of like it would in real life, kind of the condensation of the air changing colors. Silverfish is a new creature that's been added. And what a silverfish is it's a new kind of mob that appears in strongholds. And strongholds are something else that's been added. And basically, a stronghold is kind of a pre-created structure, sort of thing, kind of like an underground cave system or an underground mine system that's been generated before you ever showed up. I gotta run away here. I've got some things chasing me. So anyway, strongholds will actually give a chance to find some silverfish, and they're usually hiding inside bricks. Silverfish are going to be kind of a pain because you never know for sure when they're going to be there, and they'll pop out and then attack. They're very rare for to find, and you'll know when you're finding them because the blocks that you're attacking in these strongholds will diminish quicker than the blocks around them. I have not found a stronghold yet, so I can't show you what they look like yet, but rest assured in my adventure update series that I'm going to be doing, I'm sure I'll run into plenty of them. But anyway, going back to the strongholds, as I say, these are kind of like, think of it as if a mine structure had already been built by previous mobs and then abandoned. They just outright got up and left it. That's pretty much what a stronghold is. They fixed it now so that randomly generated caves no longer have as many just random dead ends. This creeper's kind of getting to me here. Go away. That's a good thing, because if you're like me and sometimes... Wow. Okay. So sometimes you find a good cave system and then all of a sudden it's dead end after dead end, and you find yourself just using a bunch of torches just trying to find your entrance, basically. So now caves are supposed to generate with a little bit less dead endage to them, I guess we could call it. Mushrooms no longer spread infinitely, so you'll have a set distance in which they can actually spread. Vines have been added, so that's going to be kind of cool to see how far they extend. You know, maybe you can be able to lasso them to some sort of rope system. It'll be interesting to see what we can do with this kind of stuff. And last but not least is Herobrine has been actually removed from the game again. That's basically the biggest ongoing joke in the entire game so far, is that Herobrine has been removed once again. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And I hate to say pretty much it because there's been a lot added. It's a whole new game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it, where it goes from here. Starting a brand new world is going to be fun. Oh yeah, something else they added is you can actually construct gates for your fence now. So you can actually have basically a door structure for your fence. It'll swing open and close instead of just having doors for standard 2-block high. So that'll be kind of cool. So anyway, I'm hoping this video came across as very entertaining and useful for you and provided some information about what's going out. I know everybody kind of already knows about what's in the game, but I'm hoping I can see a lot of this, and the future of Minecraft videos is going to be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with it. You know, a big thank you to Notch and Jeb and all the guys at Mojang for all the work they've put into the game. You know, very much appreciate all you guys' hard work and effort. And I will leave you guys with this. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to leave them. And as always, thank you for your time, and I will talk to you later.